Brian says Purdue now has arguably the easiest path to the championship. I'll say they have the easiest path to the Final Four, maybe, but not to the championship.
No. To the
you're
Final
gonna have
Four.
to play the
It's
good
all
teams.
it's all in front of them. Well, let's see who's two. Tennessee. Tennessee doesn't.
They beat the crap out of whoever they played last night.
Yeah, McNeese. I forget who they played.
No, it was St. Peter's. They beat St. Peter's.
St. Peter's they crushed. That's right.
By 30.
Somebody else. But no, they look. There's no excuse. There was no excuse 2 years ago. There was no excuse last year. There's no excuse this year. They got to get it done. And I think the difference is that last year they were 290th in the country in 3-point shooting percentage. This year they are second. And, they're going to surround Edey like a bus full of Lilliputians and try to, get the ball out of his hands. Good luck with that. But when they do, they've got guys who can knock down shots. Last year, what were they, 6 of 25 against FDU in that opening round game in Columbus? So I just think the difference is going to be the fact that they can make shots from the perimeter.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch. Some great upsets yesterday, the Kentucky game, and I've talked about this with several of the guests today, but it's just ironic right now that this Bermuda Triangle of pedigree college basketball, Kentucky, Louisville, Indiana, and if Purdue doesn't do something in this tournament, you can include them, even though they don't have that kind of a pedigree, but still a solid program. But I've been using the saying that if Purdue were to lose early, there would be, do you remember the sinkhole that opened up at the Corvette Museum a few years back?
No.
There was the Corvette Museum in Bowling Green where they're made, a sinkhole opened up and like 9 classic Corvettes go down into the sinkhole. But if Purdue were to lose, that sinkhole would open somewhere between Bloomington and Louisville.
I wonder, if Purdue somehow loses, and they're not, they're going to win by 35 points. But if Purdue somehow loses, what happens with Matt Painter? And to me, he's not going anywhere. But I hear people talking about Calipari, and I realize expectations are higher at a blue blood like that, like Kentucky. But it would be interesting. But I don't think we're going to reach that point. I think they're gonna rain hell on the NCAA field all the way to the Final Four.
What did I just see? I know we're getting close to running out of time, but somebody said something that I wanted to. Dr. Drew, I disagree with this, but he says if the fans and media tone down the negativity, Indiana will be fine. Players don't want to come. If fans hate the program and the coach, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy at that point. Well, you've got the same thing going on in Kentucky, man.
Kentucky.
Trust me.
It's a race to the bottom. It's a race to the bottom.
Go to their boards. They're blowing up. They're blowing it up right now. That's just how it is.
Oh, they want to put a for sale sign in Calipari's front yard.
Yep, $30 million. That's doable for Kentucky, but it's not going to happen this year. There's no way.
I would doubt it.
He goes out on his terms, I think.
Well, I think what he needs to do is bring in a transfer or 2 or 3 with a little bit of experience. Now I know they got Reeves, who's been there for a while, but they've got so many kids, and you got 18 and 19-year-olds playing against Jack Golke, who's 64. I mean that's a hard ask. So I don't know. I think it's an easy fix for Cal if he could just bring in a little bit of experience for moments like these.
And I acknowledge that I actually gave him credit, which you don't hear me do. He hinted at the fact that, do I need to change how I'm doing things?
Yeah.
Which is a complete opposite of what you have seen from Mike Woodson all year. That's what is driving a lot of fans crazy. The ones that are Mike Woodson thinks he's doing a great job, but that's not a coach that's throwing the players under the bus and then says, I'm not a coach that throws players under the bus. That's not a coach who makes a bunch of excuses and says he's going to play this style, but then continues to play this style.
Yeah.
So now whether he changes or not, John brought up earlier, he said he's going to do that too before, but we'll see. He's been doing this for 15 years now.
Mike's NBA teams were spread you out 3-point shooting teams. So I just think that Mike, and I'm not making excuses for him, but I just think this is the team that he built. This is a roster construction issue. I don't think it's a coaching issue necessarily. I think when you've been a coach in the NBA for 20 years, you know what you're doing in terms of X's and O's. There was no other conceivable way that Indiana University could play basketball other than inside out, because they don't have guards. They don't have anybody who can shoot the ball. They don't have anybody who can break you down off the dribble. So I think if he's able to bring in some guys who can do some things at the guard spot, I think you'll see him change the style of play that they employ.
Sean with a great question. I wish we had more time. What is the worst, sucking the entire season and missing the tournament, or being awesome and then flaming out early?
Well, sucking the whole season is worse.
Yes, that's a whole year. That's a whole year of depression.
Yeah, and yeah, that's like, would you rather be 4-13 and miss the playoffs entirely in the NFL, or go to the playoffs and get beat by 40? So, I'm stating the obvious. Well, there you go. That's what I'm here for, Mr. Obvious.